Crown Prince himself is a big gamer.
You win $70 million if you win the competition.
Entertainment was something that never existed in the kingdom, what, 5, 7 years ago? And now, if you come to Riyadh, you have an active calendar of non-stop ongoing events every single day.
Elie, thank you so much for being here.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Lebanon, US, Canada, Qatar, Saudi. You've been around the world in the past decade. Why have you been moving around so much?
Look, it all started when my parents wanted me out of Lebanon. Um, they literally sent me to Plano, Texas, um, because I'd forgotten to apply for my main university. So my dad figured something. I'm gonna send him to the middle of nowhere. Let this kid learn a thing or two, which led me then to spend a year in Dallas. Then I moved to Austin for my undergrad, and then in my graduate studies, I got on a full scholarship in Montreal in McGill. So I did that. So I just got used to starting new every time. And when I first went to Plano, I literally did not know a single person there except my dad's friend. And then in Austin was the same case. And well, Montreal was a bit easier because there was a lot of Lebanese there. But I kind of like got the hang of moving around, going to different places, meeting new people. And then back when I finished my studies, I spent some time in North America for a bit and realized not for me. I wanted to go back to Lebanon, and then did my first startup in Qatar, and now my second startup in Saudi.
Was there a culture shock when you moved around every time? Or like why did you decide to start your company in Qatar, for example? Why not in North America?
It's an interesting question. So I moved back to Lebanon because I was in a serious relationship. So I had to choose either I'm gonna stay in the US and then drop this relationship and then just keep doing my own thing, or kind of go back home, get married. I had my family business also in Lebanon. So my parents kind of were like, yeah, you should come back and do this at least if you want to do this. So I did all that, and my wife used to live in Qatar. So I used to go back and forth to Doha a lot, and I loved the place. I was like, this could be an interesting place. And then uh, I started exploring what good business opportunities were happening in Qatar, because at the time they were, starting, or there was a lot of activity in Doha, especially around the FIFA 2022 World Cup. So there was a lot of investments, there was a lot of opportunities. So I decided to tackle gaming since I was a gamer, and it was a great opportunity for me. And I was the first company actually the first esports and gaming company in Qatar. So I was like, why not? It's hot. People have money. They have the best internet connection, or second best in the world, and they have excellent infrastructure. So it's the perfect recipe for an esports company.
So then this company lasted about 5 years and then you stopped. So what happened? What happened then?
Long story short, I grew the company. It was one of the most successful companies in the Middle East because we had one of the best Dota 2 teams in the world. Dota is one of the, or Dota 2 is one of the, one of the longest and highest performant game. It's similar to League of Legends, for those who don't know Dota much. And I had, in 1 year, I built a team that was unranked to Division One, meaning I went from unranked to the Champions League in 1 year. And I had three Lebanese players on the team. So shortly after that, I decided, I tried to tap into every single possibilities in Qatar. And I felt the market was a bit small in that sense. And at the time, Saudi started knocking on my door. They're like, hey, you should come and move to Saudi. And I tried to bring in my partners with me back at the time in Qatar. I had a few partners, and they didn't want to invest in the kingdom or into the move to Saudi. So I was like, well, I'm going. That's where everything is happening at the moment, especially in the gaming industry. They acquired massive companies. It's just the best natural fit for that esports ecosystem. And so I decided to sell my shares, and I had a good exit. And I invested some of that money back into the new startup that I have.
And so let's talk about it. Elevate your esport experience. What is Nesma?
So Nesma is one of the most how can I explain that? It's a huge company. It's a massive conglomerate. Uh, it has it's a group of multiple companies, and Nesma is I think it started in the 70s with both Saudi and Lebanese counterparts, Al Turki family and Al Ghalmiya family, and they built one of the most or the most or the biggest construction company in the kingdom, who's currently 30% owned by PIF, and they have around
PIF,
50 the
PIF, which
public
is what?
investment fund.
Okay.
It's kind of like the sovereign fund, in charge of, all the massive, I think close to $900 billion in their fund, basically,
Okay.
in charge of all these major acquisitions that you see, bankrolling all these mega projects. So Nesma is a very diverse group. They have a lot of different companies, very, very diverse, from hydroponic farms in Riyadh to wastewater treatment, water companies, um, catering, construction, facility management. So it's a wide range, and we have a good relationship. The second generation of Nesma and myself, and one of them is a massive gamer. So when he saw what I was doing in Qatar, he reached out. He's like, Elie, you should move to Saudi. This is a massive market here. I love gaming. I was like, let's give it a shot. And he managed to convince his board to invest in gaming. I mean, it was a no-brainer because the Crown Prince himself is a big gamer. So we decided to create NES, which
Really?
is Nesma Esports Studios. Yeah, the Crown Prince is a massive League of Legends player
I guess
and
that helps.
esports enthusiast. It's actually one of the pillars of Vision 2030.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, gaming and esports. They have a $40 billion fund for until 2030. 39,000 new jobs in the kingdom by 2030. Uh, just massive opportunities at the moment. So we decided to create NES, which uh, it has three at the moment service pillars. So the first one is a production hub. So everything you can think of from film production, video production, uh, pre, post, and live events. So we can shoot commercials, we can do animation, animated content, documentaries, live broadcasts, etc. So it's a bit off of the esports space, but it's very complementary. Then we have the gaming and esports division, currently the biggest part of the company. And whatever you think of gaming and esports, you think of organizing tournaments. So whether it's online, purely online, or at a physical space, we call it LAN tournaments. We do that from end to end. We do a lot of campaigns with local and international brands, endemic and non-endemic. So if there's a campaign with a content creator, or if there's a tournament that they need, or if it's an IP that they want to create, we can do all of this in-house. And the third vertical that's been growing massively is talent management. So because these brands want they're coming to us for different campaigns, they're coming to us also for us to pair them with the most prominent or the most suitable content creator. And content creation now in the kingdom is through the roof. So you have all these young kids, and it's a very young demographic. So you have all these young kids or young people who have massive following, who are attracting a lot of brands. And these brands already come to us, so we can give them like a full kind of solution where we can create the concept for them, shoot it, and pair them with a content creator. So it's a kind of like a full circle agency.
I'm trying to connect the dots here. So these creators, are they related to gaming and esports, or that's another completely other segment of the company where you're just managing content creators, no matter the industry?
So we focused first, and that's how we grew it. We focused first on gaming creators, but now we have a lot of brands asking for lifestyle creators, motorsport enthusiasts. So we're kind of like, you know, creating a niche. We started with creating a niche, but now it's growing into all types of different creators.
So what about the esports segment? You said it's one of your biggest. What exactly
Mhm.
do you do? Are you the ones behind, are you the organizer of tournaments? What is your position exactly in that segment?
So that's a very good question because, coming into the kingdom, um, the sovereign fund invested or acquired one of the largest tournament organizers in the world called Esports, Electronic Sports League, or ESL. And you have also the Saudi Sports Federation, who have a series of calendar for back-to-back tournaments throughout the year. And I was like, where should I position NES? What should we really focus on? And I really wanted to be the company that's going to take this content, localize it, so that the Arabic audience really understand it very well in their own native language, but really offer a very interesting storytelling angle to it. So increased production value. And that's what we really started with doing. And now we're getting a lot of jobs basically or opportunities because we've delivered such amazing organization. I mean, the organization part is very generic, but it's how you present it, how you light it up, how you light up the stage, the entire kind of seamless journey that happens. People wanting to watch and enjoy watching and having higher attention on our stream. That's kind of like what's making us stand out against our competition. And when it comes to like tournament organization, as I said before, there's two different types. You have the fully online setup where gamers play from their homes or from their training facilities. And we have our studio in Riyadh. It's a massive studio, by the way. It's a really, really cool one. We have like an entire LED wall. We have green screens. We have modular studio setups and configurations. We have a broadcast unit. So like in the master control room. So we have all of these assets where we're able to be very competitive against our against competition. So when we do the online broadcast, we do it all in-house. So we're able to control quality of the people who we're working with. And when we do the offline tournaments where you have actually Jumhur, like some fans watching, so viewers, and you have the gamers physically on site competing, that also is more challenging because you have a lot of technology and event management, um, and Saudi is the place to be now for this. There's a lot of appetite. I'm not sure you're aware, but there's the Esports World Cup happening this summer.
It's happening in
$70
Saudi?
million. Yeah, and it's the second time. $70 million in prize money.
You win $70 million if you win the competition.
It's over 25 different games, but on average, each game is between 1.5 to $2 million. Some games are more.
And what's the age range of people who are competing?
You have, I would say, in some games like Fortnite, 16 all the way to 30, but the bell curve is in the 20s, early 20s.
Okay. And I want to talk a bit about the community aspect because I feel like when you were talking about creators, gaming, people watching, there's the sense of community. Are you trying to build something around that? Like you're getting people into physical events, you're trying to improve the quality of the viewership. So talk to me about the community aspect.
It's a very challenging issue because in gaming you have so many different communities. Every game has its own community. The guys from Dota do not like playing League of Legends, for example. They bump heads every day. They try to prove each other that I'm the best or I'm the best. So there are games that are very popular in the kingdom and others that are not quite so. So we focus now predominantly on the games that make sense here, that have a strong base, like EAFC, Rocket League, um, PUBG Mobile, for sure. So those are like, I would say, the top three games. And we're working a lot with the well-established teams like Team Falcons, Twisted Minds. We engage a lot with their community, uh, get them together in different competitions, and just really make sure that once they're there, they not only are just passively watching, but they also have the ability to compete in side competitions, win further prizes, engage with them online for the ones watching online to kind of have their own video edits. And if we like them, we incentivize them by offering them some cool merch or other stuff. So really, so the community really aspect to it is what really dictates the viewership, and it's what sponsors really go after.
Elie, are you optimistic about what's next? Because you've been talking about the government investing a lot of money. You're talking about the youth being super active, and then it's quite a young population in Saudi. I think if I've seen the
Yeah, for sure.
numbers compared to like Europe or anywhere else. Um, so are you really optimistic for the next couple of years? Do you think this is going to keep growing and growing in terms of market size?
But definitely, and I'll tell you why. So the kingdom has been investing not only in the esports element, but they've been acquiring a lot of game studios. So you have companies like Scopely behind Monopoly Go, that is based in LA, that they've just acquired uh, maybe a couple of years back for around $5 billion. They've acquired, as I told you before, ESL. They merged it with another company called Faceit, which is a tournament platform, well, the biggest in the world actually, and they combined it to create EFG. So that's already a company that's doing all these major tournaments globally, and they just also increased their investments in all of the studios that you hear like Electronic Arts, Nintendo, and so forth. So every year they're increasing their shares into these companies, which is a very good indication that they're not backing down in terms of investments. So, and then there's an initiative, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Qiddiya. Qiddiya is the future entertainment city of the world. It's a massive, 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 multi-billion-dollar project.
An actual city, like a physical city?
So outside of Riyadh, they're building a massive city. Um, it's going to have a Formula One track in partnership with AMG, Petronas team. They already are launching now the largest Six Flags, longest ride in the world, fastest ride in the world. Kind of, how we like the biggest, largest in this part of the world. It's going to have like about 15 to 20 hotels, a massive aqua park, golf courses, and an esports and gaming district, and a FIFA 2034 stadium. So it's a massive place. And just the gaming and esports district is a $4 billion initiative. And they plan to invest or attract 15 global teams to kind of like relocate permanently there. So they have a massive venue. They're going to have multiple villages, like the Cyberpunk village, so many different concepts. So I don't think they're slowing down. They're actually putting fuel to the fire.
You know, Elie, this actually blows my mind because when someone tells me Saudi, this is not the first thing that comes to mind. Entertainment and all that. I know there's been changes in the region, but it feels like they're fully dedicated to this route of bringing entertainment and completely changing the narrative. So that
Also,
sounds
if you
very
look at what
exciting.
they've done recently, if you look at the entertainment space, right, they've completely rehauled the entire not fighting, but boxing industry. They've hosted the biggest fighting competitions in Saudi, and now Saudi is doing that in London, and they're doing this next month in New York. A Saudi company doing boxing matches with Canelo, Tyson Fury, you name it, like all these giants. Um, they'll have two tracks for Formula One. They just started their own kind of golf. It's called Live Golf Initiative, which competes with the current golf professional tournament. So they really want to focus on sports. They really want to, because they have this population and now they're investing in infrastructure. They want to see Saudis win these gold medals. They want to see this industry flourishing. And if you want to talk about sports, just what they've done with sports is just mind-blowing. How they're able to attract these top talents and putting the Saudi Pro League in the map compared to, and if you look at their viewership, it's just insane. Everyone from around the world is now watching the Saudi Pro League because of Cristiano, Neymar, Benzema, and all these like top football players. And yes, you're right. Entertainment was something that never existed in the kingdom, what, 5, 7 years ago? And now, if you come to Riyadh, you have an active calendar of non-stop ongoing events every single day, even in the summer.
Well, Elite, that gives us a lot to think about. It really, you just blew up the whole narrative. Thank you so much for doing this. It was super interesting. And I wish you the best what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Antoine. And please try to make it a point to visit. I think if you come here, especially in the AI space, there's a lot of investment currently happening in the kingdom. They've launched several initiatives during Donald Trump's visit um, in Saudi, where they're really, really investing a lot of money into AI technology. And I know this is a space that interests you. So keep your eye out on this. There's gonna be some really big announcements in the future. And please, if you do, just reach out to me. I'd love to show you around.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elie. Really appreciate it.
Okay, let's stay in touch, huh?
For sure.